in Georgetown and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
A wonderful welcome. Thanks for inviting me back. Imagine
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email talk today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard.
And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks, Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. And, when we look at the public sector, when we have the opportunity to recognize that in any industry, but in the country in particular, when its people are able to be employed and deploy their skills, their acumen, their aptitude to the benefit of the country, makes it bode well for us. And I'm honored to be able to celebrate with our friends at the Maritime Authority of the Cayman Islands. And for me, it's an honor, not just because of a seafaring heritage. I think salt water is in all of our veins at some point. Just something about it. And it doesn't matter where you're from originally. You just gravitate towards the water. Well, before we have Miss Kayla join us, we'll start with you.
Sure.
Intro of yourself. We go on the table and get everybody familiar and acquainted so that together, hey, we make bread.
Yeah. So my name is Sagar Kadiala. I've been working for the shipping registry since 2009. Currently a principal surveyor, so in our technical section, provide safety and compliance, advisory service, and regulatory advice for clients.
And before us join, that notion of, we want to get to that at some point, so appreciate that, when we think of maritime, when we think of shipping, we probably have a perception of what it is. And as I say to people, if you're an accountant or a lawyer, you can do so much more with your professional qualifications than having to work in an accounting firm or a law firm. So maybe at some point we can dispel some of the myths, if there are any, encourage people beyond it. But to Ms. Kayla Martin, welcome. How are you?
Thank you, Sterling, for having me. So yes, my name is Kayla Martin, and I'm the Senior Manager of Business Development at the Cayman Islands Shipping Registry, which is a division of the Maritime Authority of the Cayman Islands. So I'd just like to start by saying, very good point, Sterling, in regards to what people's perceptions are about the maritime industry here in the Cayman Islands. Everyone seems to automatically go to seafaring, right? And that is a part of our past, but it's very important to note that our maritime heritage is still happening to this day, right? So our maritime industry here in Cayman is still alive and well. We might not be, seafarers, but we do still operate in the industry, and we're doing quite well, right? So it's, I think I'd also like to say that at the registry, we do have a primary focus on super yachting. However, we also deal with merchant tankers and gas carriers, LNG carriers, stuff like that as well. So as of today, the Cayman Islands Shipping Registry, or the Cayman flag, is the number one flag in the world when it comes to the super yachting industry. So that's something for the community to know, and I think that everyone should be very proud of that. So yeah, we're just here to spread awareness. We do have a scholarship available that is sponsored by the Cayman Islands government. We just, try to spread awareness for it, but yeah, we can discuss that later.
Yeah, and this is the importance of, so thanks, Kayla, for sharing that. And I like how you breeze over number one of the super yachts. I mean, if a yacht of any value, hey, it's flagged by us, right? But maybe we can understand that at some point. We go on the table, I guess. Welcome. Intro.
Thank you. My name is Andres McDermott, and I work with Sauger in the technical department, and I'm a trainee surveyor. So I'm working to be a surveyor like Sauger, and I've been with the registry for 3 years now.
And I like what Kayla shared, that here's a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
Government funds scholarships in many areas, private sector in many areas, but sometimes we may not look at the maritime sector, whether you want to be a surveyor or a naval architect, whether you want to get into engineering or yacht building, but sometimes people just need to understand that there's so much.
Yes, absolutely. We always want to beat the drum that this is a viable industry
Mm-hmm.
and career path for young Caymanians, whether it's in the technical area, as Andres and I are in, or any of the other functions that the industry provides.
Mm-hmm.
In business development, we have an accounts team. All the other functions, any other business, are up for grabs, so to speak, for that scholarship.
Did you know that you wanted to maritime? Did you know you wanted did you know?
It go out and that was even a role. So when growing up in Cayman, I always felt connected to the ocean and knew that would be a part of my life in some way. But it wasn't until I was in college studying to be a mechanical engineer that I understood that this was a path. And I myself am a former recipient of the scholarship, as is Andres. So we have a good history of turning these scholarship opportunities into career opportunities as well. So all three speaking to were former recipients. So as I was going through undergraduate course of case, when I became aware of the scholarship, started to speak to the folks at the industry, and that was kind of the time for me. Came to realize this was a viable career, and it was there that would bring me to Cayman.
Yeah. And I want to not just celebrate and come in, but to get people that many of us don't even know. As important the maritime authorities, to the country's sort of positioning, to the country's coffers, to the global sector. Many of us in Cayman don't know. And in preparing for today, I went to two people that I know have that pension.
Mm-hmm.
One wanted to be what would be today. He didn't know then was a career as a naval architect. He liked to draw. He liked boats.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even know that was a career.
Yes.
I'll share what he said, but Ms. Kayla, is this a sector you give us your story as you wish.
Sure. So any young teenager, well, back in my days, they wanted to be a marine biologist, right? I think that's what I thought I wanted to be. But as time went on, I realized
Not a mermaid?
that
Not a mermaid, a marine person?
I think the mermaid was, the childhood career of choice. But as I got older, I wanted to be a marine biologist. And as I got older than that, I realized that, I don't really like animals as much as I thought I did. So I was provided with some guidance on the options that I could take. So, I'm thankful for that guidance that I did receive when I was younger, because if I didn't receive that, I would have never known. I think that's also an issue that needs to be discussed regarding spreading awareness from the early stages for the maritime industry and its viable careers, because I don't think that teenagers are aware, which, we are at the career shows, but other than that, when we talk about the curriculum, maritime studies isn't really mentioned, right? So, yes, back to me. I ended up doing a bachelor's in maritime business management, and then I ended up doing a master's in maritime operations. So after I finished my degree, I was offered a job at the Maritime Authority because I was a recipient. And I've been there ever since. I've been there for 7 years now. I love it. It's a great job. And I would encourage anyone who does have an interest in the industry to just do some research, do some investigation, because as Sagar was saying, Sterling, as you were saying, there's so many different types of careers that are that are available, from naval architecture to maritime law to yacht interior design. That's a very popular one. To surveying, to marine engineering. So there are, on my behalf, I actually do administration and business development. So there is room for so many different types of options in the industry that are local as well. So,
Andres, from your perspective, there's someone who, from the womb, I have a friend who always wanted to be a physician. We say that he was born with a stethoscope. And he realized that, a lot of hard work. There's someone who have no clue. We retire at 70 years old and we still don't know what we want to do. What about you? You always knew what you wanted to do?
Pretty much, yeah.
There's a story to be told.
I didn't really know about marine surveying.
Yeah.
But I always knew I wanted to work with the sea and in some sort of engineering field.
Okay.
Yeah, I originally wanted to be a naval architect, but once I learned more about the industry and wanting to come back home, this was a perfect fit for me.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you see, that as we look, and we're really grateful to Ms. Kayla for the example she said, but the ethos she inculcates, and which now more of us can see. Anybody who's had the chance to interact, work for, engage with Mr. Walton, understand the leadership style. It's not just succession planning, it's about building within your country that leg, that pillar, that thing. Cayman is a remarkable place, and through you we can see why it is. So let's come back to you for a second and understand sometimes where we are in life 30 years hence may be exactly where we expected to be, but oftentimes not.
No, I didn't realize this is where I would end up in a career that I find so fulfilling and satisfying. So it's very good to work for an organization that is on the global stage respected as a market leader. And I think it's important that we bring local talent and local workforce into this, so we're connecting both of those parts. I think going back to one of your earlier points, domestically, Macy maybe doesn't have as large of a print when people think of maritime during Cayman made towards the Port Authority or the water industry. Rightfully so, work they do here. Most of our work tends to be abroad. Most shots that we registered or come to the Cayman Island, but that doesn't mean we don't have a dominant in our sector. So I had the opportunity to be able to tell people here in Cayman more about what we do and how young people can find a home in Macy. And
all right, when we come back from our break, perhaps get to you that idea of lake, the function and the jobs of a maritime authority. And to Sauger's point, I want you at some time to share your education to date. It's not just a lifelong commitment and continuing development, but then the positioning. Talk about some things. You said it's a scholarship. Can I apply? I want to know about that. Is it too late? When is it? Yeah.
So every year, the Cayman Islands government does have a maritime scholarship that we kind of collaborate with them on in regards to advertising it. So every year, the deadline is the 31st of January. So I believe that's just...
It's days away.
Days away, right? So the application is similar, or actually the same as the, generic Cayman Islands government scholarship. However, you would send in your details to human.resources@cishipping.com. So I'll just repeat that. You go online, look up the application, submit your completed application to human.resources@cishipping.com. The applicant also has to be Caymanian. And if you have any questions, you can send the same questions to that email that I just mentioned. So we'll be happy to, provide you with any guidance, or if you, need any further information.
Honored that you would come and share with us, especially with me being here to learn and to engage. So when we come back, let's talk more, and hopefully you'll be so inundated with applicants that, you know what, we're going to pull all the others and just give everybody jobs in there. All right, we're going to pause and take a break. When we come back, we'll talk today.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Hey, it's time to rack up some extra Sir Turtle Rewards miles with the Cayman Airways Tampa Airfare sale on now. Tampa sale fares are available for travel now through April 15th. But you got up until January 27th, and that is just about 5 days' time. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com right now.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks very much for joining us. And it's truly an honor to always be able to champion our public sector, our statutory authorities, and in particular, good friends at the Maritime Authority. Cayman Registry had that shipping that just makes it global. So I think as aspiring gentlemen that we are, we always say to Ms. Kayla Martin, thank you for facilitating. Leading into the break, the idea of, the Maritime Authority, the notion that we have a strong seafaring heritage, and as you shared earlier, we may as a country no longer be like our fathers and forefathers, recruited to go overseas and work on the ships, but we still are a very significant player globally in the shipping sector, not just the super yacht, but everything else. What more you want to share relative to what Maritime Authority is? But I also want to talk more about some of the things that are happening. And Andreas, you can give us a perspective. But Ms. Kayla?
Yeah, and I would also like to say that we did mention careers such as naval architecture, marine engineering, stuff of that sort. But there's also room for people who want to pursue careers as captains and as crew, right? I think that's also very important. We do champion a lot of the crew welfare, and we do a lot of work on crew documentation as well. So that's also another sector or section of the industry that is very important. It might be forgotten about. So yeah, that's, like I said, just another area in regards to the Maritime Authority in general and the registry. I think we do need to focus more on spreading the word to people in general in regards to what we do, right? Because a lot of people, as Sagar was saying earlier, aren't aware of the footprint that we have on the Cayman Islands as a whole, because they don't necessarily see the business that we're doing in front of them, right? But as he mentioned, from an international standpoint, we are quite valued and respected, and I think we just need to kind of translate from the international, I guess,
our success
awareness.
is there.
Yeah, exactly. To putting it more from in a local perspective or on the forefront locally.
Yeah, I think that'll come in time. I mean, shipping ratio 100 plus years now that we celebrated just recently.
That's right.
120 years.
Yeah, sometimes things just take a while.
Yeah.
I don't do that with sarcasm. But I say that with pride. I say that the fact that I look around at the three of you, and individually, amazing personas and auras, collectively, a powerhouse. And if the country can embrace what it has, if it can be epitomized and embodied by who we employ, it makes it better. Andre, from your perspective, is surveyor, and as you said, trainee surveyor. For many people don't understand that I liken it to you look minted attorney. You've passed the bar exam or you did whatever, you got a qualification. It's going to take you a while to get up to speed and to understand how to navigate, whether it's the court system or the commercial litigation. For you, I mean, tell us where we are and share some of your things if you wish.
My analogy is like when lawyers do their articles.
Mm.
It's like I'm studying, well, not studying, but I'm working towards being a surveyor now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's quite of a long journey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 3 years into it, but I just recently finished some sea time. So in order to get like a better experience of how
Mhm.
ships work, how just everything, how it all comes together, I spent almost 4 months at sea. So I was 2 months on a research vessel down in Chile, and then I was also almost 2 months on a chemical tanker.
Mm-hmm. That was this time of year.
It was last summer.
Oh, so it was actually kind of chilly.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. That was a good joke, right?
That was good. That was good.
People like, really? I just kidding. Yeah, I didn't care much for geography and biology, but, you know, their winters or summers and so like that. So.
Yeah, and it was...
Thanks for this, Caleb, a lot. What was that like, though? I mean, because that's a beautiful place. And on a research vessel?
Yeah, it was amazing. Just seeing, because we're like at the beginning of Patagonia. So just seeing the Andes, the snow-capped mountains, the fjords, it was absolutely beautiful. And also seeing the science, all that they're doing like down deep. I think we're doing ROV dives, maybe like 9,000 feet was the deepest one. And just seeing the creatures down there was like alien movie.
Wow. Imagine that. Let's go across to the LA building. Sorry, creatures. No, it's good. Good thing you're resigning. All right. So 2 months. Where were the other 2 months? You said 4 months at sea, right?
Yeah, I was on a chemical tanker. So I boarded that in Houston. Then I went down to Panama. We went through the Panama Canal. And we went across the Pacific. And I got off in Japan.
Man, good thing Trump wasn't president, because... But why, and I know a little bit from there, why I want you to share that is that sometimes we don't see our jobs. We know working for Cayman Airways, we get to travel, we get to see things. But here you are, learning, experiencing, exploring, who knows, setting your biography for later on, and that level of motivation. Now, I'll be mindful how I ask this, in that for some of us, the demands of our job, not unlike our perception of, say, the Dan Scotts, you know, an EY Global Head, you know, and the people like Fraser, Lindsay, and the like, who have to probably almost immediately jump off a plane, head to New York or London or whatever to meet with clients. Your job may require you at times to go places, or is it, you know what, you're at a desk all the time until you know, once you're qualified?
I will be traveling to multiple places, especially since my job will be surveying. We don't have yachts here, so I have to fly out and do the surveys overseas.
Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah, so the job of the surveyor is to go where the ships are, conduct the inspections and the audits and surveys on board. And so the being a global industry, we have to go to where our clients are. We have our head office here in Georgetown. We have another technical in South India, and then we have a global of surveyors, registrars around the world to make sure where our clients need us. But people self and sometimes it does involve quite a lot of travel.
I'll ask first to Miss Kale. There's some of us who love to travel. Some of us would like to go in, but we want the plane ride and whichever. I shared that in preparing for today's discussion, I went out to a couple of people that I knew, had they been aware in school about some of the careers that are available today, they may have taken a different path. You know, or recovering accountants, as it were, right? But travel is something that, for some, that's not what they want. And you would think your job pays you to travel. For whatever reason, in the Cayman space, seemingly Caymanians like to be here, and they don't want to go unless it's vacation. Two things. Is that a perception? And two, is there any way to counter it? Because business travel is separate and distinct from personal travel. You at work from the minute you board the flight.
Yeah, so from, I guess, my point of view, even though I'm not in the technical side of things, I do work in business development, so I also do travel a lot. A part of my role is to handle and manage our international and local presence at various events, right? So as you're aware, Sterling, I was away for a lot of 2023. But I think it's, a personal situation based on if the individual likes to travel or not. The registry has, I'd like to say, a role for everyone, right?
Yeah.
So not every role involves constant travel.
Right.
But then you have people who love that, and there are some roles that you probably will have to travel quite often. So I think it just depends on the individual and what they see in their future and what they, want to achieve.
And what I was hoping for is that this part speaks to parents, where we start to appreciate that whether your job takes you to places as a surveyors, or whether you're the dance gods to the world, an accountant, and the perception is, well, you're at your desk and you're doing accounting, you, because of the job, the role, the responsibilities, will have to go meet clients, meet your colleagues, and in absence of technology, you need to be physically present. So you said, in this instance, the mountain can't go to Muhammad, so Muhammad goes to the mountain.
That's right. So much of our work does involve seeing clients, and that's probably a very kind of energizing part of our job, whether it's Kayla or those in the survey side. Being able to get out and speak to our clients face to face, not just over the phone, is very important to us. So it just depends of the work. I think it's necessary, but as Kayla said, there's room for all sorts of responsibilities in the registry. But yeah, it was to get in front of our clients.
I don't, because we flex, I mean, and most would look at as an added incentive to work in somewhere, but for some reason the Cayman psyche sees it as an impediment. I got to leave home. And our seafaring heritage, our fathers today were little boys then, in their teens, and they, for the first time, probably found the right pair of pants and shoes to catch a flight to get off. It was when did a good thing. It's a different landscape now, Andres. The eagerness of our children to go to boarding school, to eventually travel the globe. But us as parents, are we translating that so that we encourage them and bring them to where you are, where you 2 months here, 2 months there, you're 9,000 feet down, you're looking forward to the next adventure, next exploration, the next survey?
I'd say so. Yeah. But again, like what Kayla said earlier, like everyone does have, some people have that willingness to travel and they want to travel, and others are like happy to be home. But I do feel a lot of the young people are striving to get out and get new experiences, learn what they can.
Yeah. So, Sarah, from the perspective of surveying, we recognize the importance that Cayman Maritime, the Cayman Register, plays in relation to super yachts. But Kayla referenced, the chemical. We see the new emergence of other ships in terms of their conversion and the like.
Yeah, so our footprint is not just in yachting, though we are a dominant market leader there in that segment. But our responsibilities extend to any ships on the registry, chemical tankers, car carriers, container ships. And we have a responsibility for ensuring their compliance across all sectors.
Right.
Surveys and cover safety, environmental protection, seafarer welfare, and shipping. And that's the focus when we're aboard. That's what we're looking at, making sure that the people working on these ships are safe and these ships themselves are not a risk.
Okay. I believe we got a break. If it's with you guys, whether the control comes into concern or whether we can somehow say to the public, you are registered under the Cayman flag. What does that mean for the vessel, but also for the jurisdiction? What are some of the requirements, some of the responsibilities? We reference compliance. Those of us in the financial services sector will go, oh, KYC. Well, maybe not. Can we talk about that and see once you come back from the break?
Of course.
Also want to ask about applying for the scholarship, the eligibility, and can I still apply? I mean, we want to find these things out, okay? Human.resources at CIShipping.com. Go online to CI Shipping. You'll be surprised. You might see a picture of me. No, you won't. That's good. Join us after the break.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
It's me again, that old girl, traveling everywhere with Cayman Airways. This time, I go in direct to Tampa because Tampa airfares are on sale. You know, it's been a long time and I seen Cousin Sally up in Tampa or Uncle Joe in Orlando, but I'm not sitting in the Orlando airport traffic, no sir. If you go in Orlando, Cayman Airways via Tampa, still the best way to go. You can even book a car rental through them, you know. And I know one thing, I'm racking up all the Sir Turtle rewards miles I can get for even more trips this year.
For travel now through April 15th, call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now through January 27th.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
You're invited to join the March for Jesus in Cayman Brac on Saturday, the 25th of January, starting at 4 p.m. at the Port Authority and then going down to Watering Place Gardens, followed by the praise and worship concert at the same venue starting at 6 p.m. Together, let's march for Jesus. For more info, visit www.christian.ky and click on the March for Jesus tab. Jesus is our only hope.
Covering Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Cover me.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
The Ministry of Health has launched a new research initiative dedicated to strengthening nursing in the Cayman Islands. This initiative, spearheaded by Chief Nursing Officer Mrs. Felicia McLean in collaboration with the Nursing and Midwife Council, Health Services Authority, Doctors Hospital, Poinciana Rehabilitation Center, Health City Cayman Islands, and the Public Health Department, aims at better understanding and addressing the barriers to career development within the nursing profession locally. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines and news elsewhere. The Trump administration has expanded the process to swiftly deport undocumented immigrants who cannot prove they have lived in the U.S. continuously for 2 years or more. The expedited removal policy, which has traditionally been limited to undocumented migrants detained within 100 miles of the country's international borders, now allows officers to use it anywhere in the U.S. And a rare winter storm is bringing snow and freezing rain to parts of the U.S. deep south, closing highways and airports and prompting a first-ever blizzard warning in southwest Louisiana. 4 people are thought to have died from cold exposure so far. 2 cases are being investigated as cold-related by Austin authorities in Texas, while 2 deaths from hypothermia were reported in Georgia and Milwaukee. The extreme weather is part of a bitterly cold air mass that has descended on the south and eastern U.S. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Darby Bernard Tibbetts, MBE. Bernard Tibbetts has spent his life serving the people of Kimmerbrak. In his youth, he communicated with the island's ships by radio telephone, keeping seamen in touch with their families. He later became a wireless operator and was transferred to Cable and Wireless when it took over telecommunications in the Cayman Islands. In his 45 years working in communication, he undertook private study, enabling him in his spare time to do photo processing and repair the island's cars, trucks, radios, refrigerators, and air conditioners. He also established a family retail business. He served as president of the Kimmerbrak High School PTA, director of Kimmerbrak Power and Light Company, deacon of Stake Bay Baptist Church, trustee of Little Cayman Baptist Church, and member of the Brack's Hospital Building and Development Committees. In 1983, he was honored by receiving the MBE directly from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Mr. Bernard sings and plays music and has written a number of gospel songs and tracts, as well as a paper about life on Kimmerbrak before the modern era.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
And remember, Cayman Airways has that big Tampa airfare sale on now. Tampa sale fares are available for travel now until April 15th. Be sure to book before January 27th because that's when the sale expires. You can call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com. And be sure to rack up some extra Sir Turtle Rewards miles with Cayman Airways.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
Hey, welcome back. And as we talk about the scholarship being offered by the Maritime Authority of Humans, Principal Surveyor. Make sure Saga Kadiada, right?
That's right, yes.
Close enough.
Yeah, you got it.
No, thank you for letting me say that. Andreas McDermott and the Surveyor Trini, together with Ms. Kayla Martin, the Senior Manager for Business Development. Thank you all for it. Because your acumen, but also the attitude, the interest, the passion, the way you present the organization reminds us of the importance of bringing our A game every time, every day. To you, Mr. McDermott, as we start our discussion, I want us to understand the importance of not just the Maritime Authority, but the reward of the career. As you wish to share, I want to hear.
Well, like we were saying earlier, just traveling, seeing new places. That's one thing of it, but also knowing that you're making a difference within the industry. Like crew welfare, you're ensuring that crew are being treated fairly and correctly. You're ensuring that the environment's protected, and ensuring everyone's safe.
Yeah. And the thing that we, as a public, may not appreciate, it's not just the global impact. It's not just the thing that the Maritime Authority would do relative to the shipping registry of its flagged ships or others. It's the local market, the ships that are here, their conduct, that sort of may say, well, as Port Authority, yes, there's a role, but Maritime plays a role as well.
Yes, we do, yeah.
Okay.
So
we have a role here for ships that are visiting to carry out what's called port stay control inspections, ensuring that foreign flag ships, when they visit the Cayman Islands, are following the rules and conventions and regulations as they should. And also role in overseeing the safety and compliance of locally operating vessels. Sucked a lot of the opportunities as surveyors, but there are roles with registry for local electors, local surveyors, things. So our purview is entirely international. We have our look closer to them in a lot of cases.
As you said, I think there might be some overseas in that leave and go over to the back.
That has happened occasionally, yes.
That maybe true today often, but that local and being part of this port state control, that importance of ensuring that the compliance, the safety, the environmental protection is within our local waters as
Absolutely.
well.
Yeah, we value our close relationship and ties to other domestic agencies, Department of Environment, ports, police. We always want to make sure that where our expertise is useful, that we are always available to help our local partners and local industry as well.
And I'm hoping as we see that importance in terms of the country development, medical, public. Look at, for instance, of course, the people who may be employed there, speaking to our rich maritime heritage. If they have that passion, as you've all in sort of shared, Andreas talked about, always only want to work with ships and work with the water. If you can do that here, you add into another pillar to the economy. You embody what was his historical reference, but you continue a legacy.
Correct.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's not just the Maritime Authority that's operating domestically in the maritime sphere, and I'm glad you did mention the Coast Guard and other agencies as well. If any parents, teachers have questions about what do, what sort of education background or skill needed, always available to about that.
Okay.
That they can to our human resource part through Kayla education. I was happy to take the time to advise young people as to how they can get into this industry.
I want to emphasize in the scholarship application, but before I ask Kayla one of the other opportunities to do so, Sagar, can we ask you, the training? We would know that if you're being an accountant, you're probably going to do an undergrad in accounting. You're going to probably have to sit a professional examination. There are going to be things, but we may not know what it's like to become a marine surveyor.
Sure.
Even if that's the correct term. I mean, you guide me if that's
no.
That's
you got
not.
it. You got it. Yeah. So I think there's been 4 surveyors who have gone through the process of receiving scholarships and then during the registry and then come back later to work to Georgetown. One of us got on working out of our UK office. Most of us went through the hearing, so engineering undergrad and naval architecture or similar at a grad school level. Coming back and do what Andres is doing, working from the office, shadowing your surveyors, learning more about the role in this, with the view to getting out surveys on soon. One of the good things about the registry is the chance progression and kind of a lifelong ability. People, the RED is always emphasis training, continuous education. So we don't lose the ability to learn when we finish being trainees. Still offer the opportunity to go on courses, seeing really my skill, this role, what I can. Really develop it in a way that is used for me and fulfill, and that's an opportunity Macy and the Cayman Registry allow, which I'm extremely grateful.
And in a way, sort of dance and understanding of criteria and patient of the applicant. could I then once more ask you, so that training, that education, about from Andrea's perspective of the lawyer and the articles, and we know the timeline.
Mhm.
He talked about 3 years. What is that timeline? So you finish, you do schooling. How long is that? After that, it's not about the continued development and remaining current, but what does that look like for that person thinking, I'm gonna spend 10 years to be a physician, 8 years to be a lawyer,
Sure.
50 years to be an educator?
No, I think for the surveyor role, it would be undergrad, grad school, and then you're getting right into meaningful work. So you're not be doing the survey on your own or doing meaningful right away. Process of training is a bit, I think, Andres, to last stages, but it's not kind of at that. But there is meaning work done from day. We use resources straight out of school. For the others, that seems of development, admin, accounting, those are available as well, and offer those functions, well, not just surveying route.
Okay. So I don't know who's interested in this chip. I think it doesn't have to be specific, naval architect, but if you have that interest, tell us about the scholarship, the criteria. Share with us, please.
So we ask that the individual is genuinely interested in the maritime industry, and we discussed that there are multiple avenues for that. They have to be Caymanian or hold Caymanian status. You have to prove residency in the Cayman Islands for 5 years prior to your application. The applicant does have to be 18 years or older. And then you also need an acceptance letter of your ranked college or institution. So once you meet all of that criteria, you can go to the Ministry of Education's website and download the application and then submit the application to the ministry. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can also submit the application to human.resources@cishipping.com. But because it is a government scholarship, we suggest to follow the government process and submit it via their online portal. So if you have any questions, if you want to just learn more about the industry in general, please do reach out to us. Sagar, myself, the rest of the team will be happy to answer any questions that you do have. So I'll repeat the email again. It's human.resources@cishipping.com.
I'm hoping that we see this now, whether that applicant is, now for this year, deadline the 31st of January. Today's the 23rd or thereabouts, something, whatever date today is, but 22nd? Okay. See?
Yeah.
He's excited about something.
But you're right, even if it's not for this year's round of
Yeah.
applications, we're deeply committed to developing an interest in this sector for years to come.
Yeah.
This isn't a today or tomorrow
No.
kind of interest. We are Caymanians, and we're interested in this industry to its utmost here. So even if conversation that somebody wants to engage for years in line, we'd have a conversation.
If I ask you for, right, to be not to rescue but to complement what you're sharing, we know we should be talking to our students as early as possible about their career choices, their subject choices, their interests. How early is too early to think about the maritime sector?
I don't think there is a age, to be honest.
Mhm.
But if you're gonna get technical with it, I think once you're starting to select your classes around that age, so I think year 9, roughly.
Okay. So what about you?
I think we all ask our children what they want to be when they grow up as soon as they can start to talk, and if they can start to think about that, then there's no harm in presenting them the options, letting them know what there is out there to do in the world. I know I was in high school into college, I was unaware of the different opportunities that are out in the world, how you're living and how you can live passions, and the earlier we get to somebody about that, the better.
Maybe Kayla should be like me. I don't want to. because almost we're a child at heart, but not just aside. Speaking to them early and often about not just their careers, but the options that are available. They may have an interest and aptitude in accounting, for instance, but that can transcend in many sectors.
Yeah, for sure. And there's so much more to Cayman than the lawyers, the financiers, the accountants. So yeah, we just want people to know that you don't necessarily have to go down that generic trajectory. There's other careers that are very interesting that we're all very passionate about here at the registry.
And for this year's application, as it closes on the 31st of January, you said go to the government, the Ministry of Education website. But how would, look at the message, how would, just for emphasis, or the applicant mark, hey, I'm looking for the maritime scholarship. How is that?
It is the Maritime Scholarship. So it
Okay.
is a separate scholarship than the general Cayman Islands Government Scholarship.
Mhm.
And then what happens, the deadline is the 31st of January because the Ministry of Education needs to, review all the applications. There is an interview process, and all of that needs to be done before the individual is ready to partake in their studies for the beginning of September, right?
Right.
So I would just like to reiterate that even though the deadline is coming up soon for 2025, the criteria and the details will always remain the same. So Sagar made a very valid point earlier that, if you're not prepared to apply for this particular term, if you're interested in the industry, keep it in the back of your brain because it's not going anywhere.
Mhm.
And the deadline is always the same, always the 31st of January.
And who knows? I mean, you start out in the sector, 30 years later, you live every day fulfilled.
Absolutely.
Very few of us can say that, what I say, find something you love to do, you never work a day in your life. Right?
That's the dream.
Exactly.
and hopefully, as we get ready to wrap up our discussion, maybe back to you, Andreas, that idea, like, you're here at age whatever, and then you're looking down the road. Where does that road take you?
The road take me?
Yeah. Less travel? I don't know.
More travel, taking Sagar's job.
Hey, I like it. Throw the gauntlet down. Why not? Because but that's the ambition. And what I like, thank you for saying that. One, it demonstrates that you have that, not just the courage, you have that expectation, that motivation, that encouragement by your organization to look upward.
Mhm.
And there are people above you, right? We're talking ships, so the rising tide floats all ships.
That's
right?
exactly it. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
room for all of us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What about you? Where would you want it to take you, and has it thus far taken you where you were hoping?
I don't think I had a concrete enough idea when I joined the registry of where I thought it would take me and where I would end up, but I've been very happy with the progression I've had so far.
Yeah.
Going from day-to-day surveys into having kind of a policy role as well, helping to make the decisions that draw our industry. The Cayman Islands, kind of the tech leader when it comes to pre-auditing, setting standard initiatives, had some voice to that, really fulfilling, and I could see that increasing, and yeah, I'm very happy a part of that.
Well, I'm prayerful from a national perspective. Yes, though we may engage in the political cycle or try to formulate policy, that as a country we start to appreciate where we are in contributing to that global landscape, to helping to define it, to not be arrogant, but to understand, the expectations, but also our commitment. So when we talk about financial services and know how we help to set some of the standards.
Yeah,
despite
set the
be-
agenda there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do the same in the maritime sector.
Absolutely.
We just don't understand enough of it locally
Mhm.
to appreciate its importance.
Yeah.
Hopefully your presence today will dispel some of these perceptions.
Yeah, thanks very much for your time.
You're most welcome. Iskila Martin. I'm hoping that, not that you all need more work, but you get many, many applicants and much interest and inquiry for next year. What more we want to repeat and or share with our listeners?
I think we've said everything in the segment so far, but I will repeat the email again in the event that anyone needs it. The email, if you have any questions regarding the Maritime Authority or the maritime industry in general, or the Maritime Scholarship, is human.resources@cishipping.com.
Well, thank you all, and any and every part of our government, from the statutory authorities to the government companies to the departments, we want to champion, we want to support, promote, elevate, and otherwise, recognize and appreciate the importance of our public sector, but the acumen that exists. One person called and asked the question, where in the country do we have the best, most skilled people? Hands down, he answered, as I agree, in the public sector. You guys
That's great to hear.
remind us of it. So hopefully
Thank
your
you.
applicants will take up the mantle. Have a great week, guys. Enjoy every second. Safe travels and a rewarding, fulfilling career.
Thanks very
Thank you,
much for
sir.
having us.
All
Thank
right.
you for having us.
As an honor. All right, Maritime Authority, the Cayman Islands, they have a scholarship. Deadline is the 31st. Consider applying. Get information maybe for next year if you're not ready for this year. I'm going to pause and take a break. When we come back, we're going to have another guest talking about something else. Want to know what it is? Well, you have to join me. Stay tuned.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
It's me again, that old girl, traveling everywhere with Cayman Airways. This time, I go in direct to Tampa because Tampa airfares are on sale. You know, it's been a long time and I seen Cousin Sally up in Tampa or Uncle Joe in Orlando, but I'm not sitting in the Orlando airport traffic. No, sir. If you go in Orlando, Cayman Airways via Tampa, still the best way to go. You can even book a car rental through them, you know. And I know one thing, I'm racking up all the Sir Turtle rewards miles I can get for even more trips this year.
For travel now through April 15th, call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now through January 27th.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments January 27th to February 1st at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited whether you're seeking advanced skin care, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles. Dr. Wayne Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drporterkman@gmail.com. That's drporterkman@gmail.com. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That's 946-9020.
The 2025 National Heroes Day Awards takes place on Monday, January 27th at 9 a.m. in the historic Heroes Square. Celebrate the icons of business and entrepreneurship within the Cayman Islands and honor our past nation builders. Wear your ceremonial best and come out to Heroes Square on Monday, January 27th at 9 a.m.
The Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing, Infrastructure, Transport and Development is pleased to provide the APATH Grant Program to help you thrive. Whether you're interested in pursuing higher education or a career in planning, infrastructure, agriculture, housing, or transport, APATH is designed just for you. Ready to take the leap? Apply today. For more information, please contact APATH Secretariat at 936-6231 or mpahi@gov.ky. APATH, your path to success in the Cayman Islands.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. I just feel like something good is about to happen. I just feel like something good is on its way. Praise the Lord. He can work through those who praise Him. Praise the Lord.
Put your hand in the hand of the man who steals the water. Put your hand in the hand of the man who calmed the sea.
Just because I've got Jesus on my mind. Just because I got Jesus on my mind.
Praise time on Radio Cayman.
Weekday mornings from 6 until 6:30.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And in the studio, the general manager over at the Botanic Park, Mr. John Loris. And I think as we sort of sit, think, and celebrate and share, and recall what we had talked about over the years, the setting just to come out on a Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning and just walk the park is refreshing, whether you bring in your family or whether you come in for some solitude. And of course, to Miss Laura Eagleshaw, gardening, whether it is part of a society or whether you do it on your own, it brings much, not just reward and recognition,
therapy too.
But yeah, therapy. So to you first, I know John would say we are gentlemen, so we always say, let us try to exhibit that publicly what our parents taught us privately. Welcome, Miss Laura. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And I will let John go first, but I'll only just say that the Family Fun Day is this Sunday, the 26th of January, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then, John, on to you.
Yeah, this Sunday, Family Fun Day, is a partnership with the Garden Club of Grand Cayman that has existed for, I would guesstimate, 10 years, but the Garden Club of Grand Cayman has been a partner with the Botanic Park from day one, from supporting us, from volunteering to supplying us, from being with us all the time. And the Queen Elizabeth II Botanic Park has really grown in the last 10 years, and it's become integral to our community and for everyone to come out and enjoy it. Not just for the plants, but, for a place to go to relax, enjoy what nature's brought us, and just enjoy and get away from our rat race of town sometimes. There's so much benefit from being outdoors.
And I think, as you should, I was looking at the children's park.
Children's garden, yeah.
Children's garden, right, within the Botanic Park. And I know that's what it's called, but having had friends and family visit over the Christmas, that's an impressive space. It's not just for children anymore.
No, it's not for children anymore, and it's really brought out the community, and it's provided a safe place to play outside and learn through play. And that was the whole intention of the project, learning through play and having a place for all the school groups to come visit and start off their lessons with a small educational lesson from our garden educator. But again, it's like you said, parents can go there, they can relax in the Discovery Tower and just enjoy the breeze and look out East End and just see all the trees, and that's what it's all about. Getting our residents out to enjoy nature, all ages.
Miss Laura.
And on Sunday, I know culturally Caymanians go to church, but people can come after church if they don't want to come at that time. So it's 11. Some churches start at 10 anyway, and it finishes at 3. There is an entrance fee, only just $5 for children and 10 for adults. And I know the National Trust have discounts for their members, but I'm not sure if that is applied that day, John.
Yeah, it's our event pricing is extremely fair. $10 adults, $5 for our children, which is half off what our visitors rates would apply. But even if you are a visitor to the island, those same event pricing is applied. No discounts available. There's a lot to offer, a lot of work that's gone into this. We need to recoup some stuff and also help raise funds for the finishing touches of the children's garden.
Yeah. And as you share this, Laura, it's a Sunday. Yes, many will. And the Heroes' Day is the next day is a public holiday. But that aside, the Garden of Eden, we think of the Garden of Gethsemane, we think about Christ and the meditation, and there's something about being in a garden, being connected to nature. Whether it's that prayer for solitude that you want, whether you want to fellowship, bring your spouse, your children, it's not commerce in itself, it's also about communion.
Yeah, that's a good point, talking about garden for prayers and meditation. And the Botanic Park is so big as well, it's so vast that even when you go past the children's garden, which is really peaceful and very breezy, it's beautiful there, there's a long trek too that you could do if you want to get away, and just be on your own. So you can just do your trail by yourself. And there's the Blue Iguana facility, of course. But on the day of the Family Fun Day, which is this Sunday, as you arrive, I just want to kind of give you a detail of how it would be if you haven't been before with your family. So as you arrive and you enter the visitor center, you park obviously in the parking lot, the visitors parking lot. At the beginning, at the front, before you go into the door, there's a tombola area where the garden club members, all volunteers, we're all volunteers, and we do this for the Botanic Park every year, and it's one of their biggest fundraisers. And as John said, a lot of work goes into it with volunteers who get together and make things beforehand, and then are there on the day volunteering as well all day. So there will be a tombola area where the kids can pick a gift free. I think it's free, or there might be a little cost.
There's a raffle or ticket. I think it's $5 a ticket.
Okay. But there are lots of gifts in the tombola area. And then as you go in, inside there's a volunteer sign-up table, either in or just behind the visitor center, and free coffee for volunteers as well when they go in. And there's a nature table for everyone when you go outside behind the visitor center. And there'll be food trucks along the path and in the children's garden too. In the children's garden area, there's a balloon area in the shade, out of the flow of traffic, so you can go on the side. The schoolhouse cabana will have the craft tables, the flower arranging, plant potting, face painting, so lots of activities. On the lawn, the children's games will be happening on the lawn. And last year we had volunteers from Boys to Men as well, and I think this year they're planning to go. So we want to thank them so much for all their time, and everyone else with them that I might have forgotten to mention. There's going to be the magician at the end of the lawn opposite the schoolhouse in a shaded area. Then we have the covered gazebo near the splash pool for sitting, because there will be food trucks. You can sit there, have your lunch. The food trucks, you have to pay your money for the food there. And there'll be free music all day by Eden Hurlston. Thank you so much, Eden. He did it every year as well.
Yeah,
this
the Cool Breeze Boys.
Yeah, this year they may or may not have Barefoot Man. I'm not sure.
Barefoot Man is confirmed.
Yes,
despite that, still come.
But Eden is definitely the volunteer musician for this event, so thank you. And then, of course, in the Heritage Garden area, we will have plaiting and thatch work. The last few years, Miss Shirley Ralston's done that, so thank you so much, Shirley. And she might be doing it this year too, I'm sure. In MRCU, they do a display with sort
Great
of endemic
educational display.
Yes, insects.
Really good.
And DOE do a display, which is very good. The National Trust do a display. The National Trust is also offering free tours of the Blue Iguana facility. So normally you have to, I think, pay extra for that, don't you? Or
it's included in the
entrance
price. Yeah.
Okay, which is normally higher except for Sunday. And there may be some henna painting. So that's basically, there's a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff going on the day. Also, you'll see a giant blue iguana walking around the garden. That will be the Blue Iguana mascot. Will be out and about as well. So be fun interactions and photo opportunities for all the kids and parents as well.
So you're going to be walking upright?
Walking upright, yeah. It'll be evolution.
Until he gets too tired.
We're expecting really, really nice weather. There's going to be a nice breeze as well. So it always is a great day. It's a lot of work. A lot of work goes into it, but it's just a great day all around for everybody that's on island. Resident, visitor, otherwise. Also, big thank you to the Water Authority. They've allowed us parking in their facility on Botanic Park Road, which there will also be a shuttle service provided by the Cayman Islands National Attractions Authority, who will have their bus there to shuttle people instead of walking too far.
This Sunday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
11 a.m. 3 p.m. Botanic Park.
$10 to get in.
$10 for adults, $5
$50 to exit.
I don't think there's anything that you could, enjoy for such a low price on the island.
No, and I think what it does too, it reminds us. As Laura, as you went through, we see a lot on offer, and maybe the Family Fun Day. This is a time for us to bring out our children and grandchildren, and to come. Maybe it's a date afternoon, for that couple to rekindle, celebrate the anniversary, whichever. It's just being in the garden is nice.
And don't forget there's a observatory too, so you can go up very top, look, and you see, well, not the complete whole island, but you can see the Eastern Hospital. Sorry,
is
Alt
it 50
City.
feet?
You can see
How high
Alt
is it?
City.
Is it
You
50
can see the
feet?
radar.
It's about 38 feet up.
Round it off.
Yeah, call it 40.
50 feet. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
50 US.
There you go.
And there's nice relaxing hammocks and chairs up there.
Yeah. Quite a nice. That's
beautiful view.
It is. And I don't believe. John, you're there every day, but from those of my family friends who go regularly, you can go, religiously every Sunday, every Saturday, or whatever. Some I know. Not any day is the same. It's always different every day.
That's what makes the Botanic Park great. I mean, we have our seasonal variations, but a lot of plants, flower, fruit, different times of year. Our orchid boardwalk kicks off most of our endemic and native orchids after Easter, but there's always regional orchids and exotic orchids in bloom throughout the year. So it doesn't really matter when you come to the park. It's always a different experience. Yes, it's going to be hotter in the summer, but again, we're going to have different things in bloom or showing their stuff at that point. So you need to come out, 5-6 times a year to actually get a really perspective on things.
I'm glad you shared that, because for me, unless I knew that, I would go, but really? It's the same? No, it isn't.
Mm-mm.
I mean, this may not be Kew Gardens necessarily, but what it offers, I think as a country we can be justifiably proud of it, especially our native, endemic species, as you shared.
Most definitely. I mean, the park, with it being 65 acres, technically and scientifically, we've got a 40-acre protected woodland area, which there's 55 to 60% of all our native flora located in that. So that's amazing. That's what most modern botanic parks, Kew, for example, they're trying to recreate their natural areas. We had that first, and then we built our developed gardens. So we are very, very lucky to have what we have in our own backyard.
Yeah. I think the legs of Mr. Jefferson, Mr. Nixon, in seeing the vision and championing it, we will appreciate it 100 years from now without question. Can we appreciate it this afternoon?
We can appreciate it any day.
Yeah. Or what it means.
Yeah.
I want to ask John something as general manager, but first, Ms. Laurie, you're an avid gardener. Those of us who know you know that it's just something that is probably natural. In the botanic park in particular, John talked about the endemic species. Any particular plant or whatever is growing there and how that's defined that not just intrigues you, but you go, oh, I didn't realize that is of special appeal to you. Now it's the same question to John. He sees it every day, but to you.
I can't really say there's a particular one, because they keep adding things as you go. And every time you go, like if you do the orchid walk, sometimes they're not blooming, sometimes they are. So you'll see something you hadn't seen before. The colour garden is probably my favourite. When it's in bloom, especially.
John, what about you?
But I also I've also liked to notice which bees and butterflies, which plants attract the bees and butterflies more than anything else.
That's an impossible question to really answer. I mean, I love seeing the kids in the children's garden. It's not a plant, but just to see the joy of the kids and the parents there. But our national flower, the banana orchid, is an incredible plant in a sense of its ability to actually interbreed with other orchids. So in the orchid community, the orchid culture, the orchid breeders in Florida and throughout the Caribbean, our banana orchid, our national flower, is integral to hybridizing with other genuses of orchids. It's just an incredible plant that is, when you go to orchid shows in Florida and other areas, and they're like, oh, you're from Cayman, the banana orchid. It's such a it needs to be shown off more here. It needs to be spotlighted a lot more. It's a really incredibly important plant.
I appreciate you sharing. So before our segment, I reached out, I meant to try to call it because I wanted to remember the name of a particular one. I called it, Bush. And oh no, it's important. I didn't get in touch with a family member. And it's one of those things where we see, but we don't understand the importance of it. So that reminded me of a conversation I had, and you just shared it, and I was going to share it off here. But knowing from family and friends who are into their orchids and the importance of how our banana orchid, just is that sort of stage for these other things. The Cayman mango tree, the Cayman dog, the Caymanian. So much of us, we are part of that, just like our orchid.
But with the dogs and the mango trees, which are probably not endemic, the orchid is, right? And John was mentioning hybridization, but I'm assuming that the Botanic Park, or hoping so, keeps it in its integrity as
most definitely.
Not hybridized in any way or none.
Unfortunately, the reality is that the importance of protecting our own species is extremely important as well. But and as a result, the NCC actually you cannot import any hybridized orchids that have Myrmecophila, the banana orchid, in it anymore. So it's forbidden for being introduced to the island to help protect its genetic importance. And
I just thinking back to something Mr. Kirkland Nixon had shared. We have a number of unique or endemic species, and we only think there's only one, but we don't know.
Yeah, it depends who you ask. I think you're going to get an answer between 22 and 26 orchids, which is incredible for such a small landmass.
I didn't know that until about maybe close to 30 years ago. Mr. Clarkman was sharing with us. And yet there's a couple of birds and other things that exist. But we, the country, just take a conversation with Cayman Shipping, the Maritime Authority. We don't understand what we have to offer. I want to put that out as an increase in awareness, an invitation to respect what I have, the appreciation, but also the invitation that maybe Sunday at the Family Fun Day might be the first time some of us ever go to the park or have for a long, long time. And it's not the same if you go every day, every week. Certainly not season to season, but even weekly to weekly.
Sure.
So we'll come back from the break. Can we talk a bit more?
Looking forward to it.
And share with us some of the things. And John, you emphasize the natural species, the endemic species. Miss Laura, I mean, the fun. Is there a water slide? There might be. I had something go to water park. All right. This Sunday, Family Fun Day at the Botanic Park. We're going to tell you about it. 2 o'clock after the headlines, there'll be some open lines. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
It's me again, that old girl, traveling everywhere with Cayman Airways. This time, I go in direct to Tampa because Tampa airfares are on sale. You know, it's been a long time and I seen Cousin Sally up in Tampa or Uncle Joe in Orlando, but I'm not sitting in the Orlando airport traffic. No, sir. If you go in Orlando, Cayman Airways via Tampa, still the best way to go. You can even book a car rental through them, you know. And I know one thing, I'm racking up all the Sir Turtle rewards miles I can get for even more trips this year.
For travel now through April 15th, call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now through January 27th.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money Transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Has your child been diagnosed with ADHD, or have you been told to seek an assessment for your child based on certain hyperactive, inattentive, or impulsive behaviors? Then the Family Resource Center's Understanding ADHD virtual workshop can help. The workshop supports parents' understanding of ADHD, parenting strategies for children with ADHD, and other useful information to support your child. Contact Family Resource Center at frc@gov.ky to reserve your spot for this free workshop.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back. And from the Garden Club, Miss Laura Shaw, the general manager over at the Botanic Park. Mr. John Lawrence joins us. And if you shared and I paid attention, this Sunday, there's a Family Fun Day at the Q2 Botanical Park, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. $10 for adults, $5 for children. 10 people go. It's $100 if you're all adults, right?
Correct.
And if you want to pay $1,000, well, that's great too.
We'll take it.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's fun, and you recognize that sometimes in Cayman we say there's not a lot going on until we realize how much has transpired that day or that week that we missed, or we were hoping to go, but we didn't make plans. So on this Sunday, what kind of plans do we need to make? What do we need to wear? What do we need to bring? How difficult is it to get there? I mean,
well, it's really easy to do. It's a long weekend. Monday you can relax and go to Heroes Day celebrations, but Sunday is a great day to make a drive out eastern districts, the quieter districts. Enjoy the Botanic Park at a really fair price. Bring some water, but actually bring empty water bottles. The Water Authority of Cayman contributed greatly to the Children's Garden last year and installed 2 water bottle filling stations in the Children's Garden and also one at the entrance to the Color Garden. So bring your water bottle containers, fill them up, enjoy what the Water Authority has provided to us. And just think of it as not just going to the Botanic Park for Family Fun Day. You've got access to the Blue Iguana Conservation Facility, which is incredible that you have this world-class facility located in a world-class Botanic Park, for an all-inclusive price. You don't have to go to all the kids stuff if you don't want to, but if you do, bring a bathing suit. Check out the Cayman National Bank splash pad. Cool off in the breeze, cool off, relax after you do all the other things that's being offered on Family Fun Day.
There's another challenge you can do if you go as well as adults or children. A lot of people have, if they like gardening, they plant WhatsApp identification. So, and some people found, it doesn't work very well. The plant might look like it, but it's not. So here's a challenge. They can go take pictures of the plants that are there because they're labeled, so you know what's what, and see if your phone plant app identifies it as correctly. It's a good way to find out which plant app works the best.
Yeah, well, I'll make it easy. I'll take one of my sisters and have the word, but I know which one it is. But that's a good way to challenge, and it's fun.
Yeah,
Make
so it's not just about going there for kids. You can go there for
and
adults
learn
as well and do something else and see the Blue Iguana facility
Yeah.
free of charge as well. But I would like to say thank you so much for the Garden Club of Grand Cayman for hosting this Family Fun Day, which, as we said before, is the Botanics Park biggest fundraiser, and it's a lot of work. And we do need volunteers for people to help us, not just for this, but for other events that we do. The Garden Club has done quite a lot of landscaping, and it's all free from the Garden Club. They've helped the John Gray High School, the Field of Dreams, the Buddentown Police Station, the Hospice Centre signed by the Westby Road, the National Trust Front Garden. Some of these are previous, some are quite a while ago. The Golden Age Home in West Bay, the New Scouts Headquarters, the Pines Retirement Home, and there's been the Doctors Hospital, the National Museum, and Seafarers Hall in the past.
Jasmine.
Yes.
Jasmine, the hospice, at the front. And some of those, of course, need maintenance. So sometimes the people who've had the garden club do the landscaping need to do it on their own after as well. But we do need volunteers, and we're asking people, please come out to the Botanic Park on Sunday, because there is a volunteer sign-up area as well. Or they can go to the website, which is www.caymangardenclub.com, and there is application form in that, and there's a Facebook as well, so they can go on that and find out how to apply electronically.
I mean, I was always grateful whether it's Dr. Society or Miss Ora coming in the Garden Club and talking about it, and your, members are welcome. As we kind of get closer and closer to including today's discussion of this, for would-be members, what can you share, Ms. Laura, if you wish, an invitation to join? When you meet, how do you join? Anything about the Garden Club?
The first thing to do is the application form, of course. The first thing to do is a form with coming to a meeting as well. So if you know someone who's going to a meeting, you can be their guest. So the next meeting is February the 6th at number 94 Parkside Close Parkway, and Ms. Eileen Young will be doing orchid presentation. If anyone's interested in coming to that, they can call me 916-4020, and they need to be as a guest, so their name needs to be down to say that they're coming, so we can cater the food and everything else.
And meetings are usually what time of day?
It's every month, almost every month except for summer months, not June, July. Every month, and it's normally 2 p.m. in the afternoon. But there have been occasions where we've had projects and other things on a Saturday, say A.L. Thompson's Conference Centre. So we've got lots of friends of the Garden Club that help us out with things as well, like A.L. Thompson's and the Conference Centre and Jake Scott and Foster's and lots of other groups. So yes, it's normally 2 p.m.
All right. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a great weekend.
Yeah.
Weather's looking good. Nobody can get out on the boats. So it's a good opportunity for families to come from West Bay to East End and meet in the middle.
Yeah.
And check out the Family Fun Day.
I like what you said, a cold front coming here, so nobody get on the boats.
I do see some fishermen friends with their families out when it is windy at the park, so it fits in good.
Without their lures and lines, man. There's a water somewhere.
Yeah, no tarpon in that pond, though.
You checked.
Yeah.
And don't forget that there is food up there, so don't worry about, just bring the money.
Food and
buy some
beverage
food.
provided. We've got a few other food vendors
Mm.
available.
For
All of
sale.
the rear of the visitor center will be all the food area, food and beverages, and then
Mm.
Children's Garden is the main action, and then the rest of the park is not to be missed as well. So if you want to get away from the kids running around, just go for a nice peaceful walk in the Children's Garden or the Color Garden or the Woodland Trail.
Yeah.
Check out the Blue Iguana facility.
And bring your sensible shoes, flat shoes.
Yeah, running shoes, flat shoes are always great for
Hat, a
kids.
cap.
Some sunscreen and
A pair of sunglasses.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, but it is, and with the color, what's in bloom now? I mean, this is.
Well, it's funny you say that because blooms are one thing, but a lot of tropical plants, their beauty and their attraction is the foliage.
Yeah.
From the big interest over COVID, the variegation, the variegated monsteras and all that. So there's always something in bloom, but there's always something to look at, whether it's the foliage, whether it's a fruit, whether it's a flower. So it's ever changing. The park looks great. I spent a couple hours there this morning,
beautiful.
And it's just looking superb right now. So it's just great to come out.
There's also a maze there that was built quite a while, and the Garden Club of Grand came and donated
the maze. Yeah.
So this is a maze, not a labyrinth, right?
No, it's not a labyrinth.
But
it's
it's
a maze.
it's not M-A-I-Z-E. It's Suriname
corn.
cherry
I know.
plants that makes the maze. Because some maize is actually made from maize or corn, right?
Yeah.
But this is Suriname cherry, and it's a beautiful plant. And
it's not in fruit right now.
I was gonna ask you.
But it'll be in fruit in a couple of months. But it's an edible fruit, so when you do come in a few months, have a stroll through the maze. It's not that easy either. It's small, but it's still interesting and challenging.
Yeah. And you'd
you can
actually
sit in a tower and look at your family trying to work their way through.
And you get out if you aim to the right spot and turn the right path.
Yeah, the kids love playing in there. So.
Yeah.
And when it's in bloom, you can help yourself to the fruit, right?
Exactly.
Yes, thanks to the Garden Club of
There
Grand
you
Cayman.
go. Yeah. There you go.
And also, the Garden Club of Grand Cayman, the periwinkle is their logo for them. And maybe, I don't know how many periwinkle plants are at the Botanic Park, I'm not sure, but it's always a good idea to get that included in the Heritage Garden because that's a medicinal plant, and it was used, or probably still is used, for slowing down cancer growth and for diabetes and lots of other things. So I'm not sure if you have a medicinal garden or is one
we
planned
have the
for
medicinal
future?
section at the back of the Heritage Garden, and the periwinkles actually has two little crazy chemicals called vinblastin, vincristin, which are used in modern medicine to treat leukemia. So you can see the direct correlation to how it was used as bush medicine and how it's been incorporated in modern medicine now.
Oh, so glad you shared that because I think many times two things are immediately evident, both in discussion with, Macy, and hopefully people play for their scholarships and that historical, sort of record of our seafaring heritage. But the use of plants, whether some cerasee, whether you get the periwinkle, the rosemary, we're losing much of that practice because quote unquote we're being modernized. But just like the banana orchid being so instrumental in helping other species and other orchids, we have it right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe Sunday might be an appreciation for many of us to see again or see for the first time.
Exactly.
Our grandparents would have recognized most of the plants up there when they do the but that shows you that there's growth for the Botanic Park in the medicinal, section of it,
No
like
pun
a STEM
intended,
research kind of
growth.
thing as well.
She said it twice.
It was not intentional, but
But the tropics, the Caribbean, we have the highest density of medicinal plants that are still being investigated
by big pharma,
big pharma, by big modern medicine. It's integral that we try to protect as much that we have because it's going quicker than we can imagine.
And it is because we see it as bush. Sadly, when we say bush medicine, we emphasize the bush. And unfortunately, that's one area where I look at the plant and I go, it looks familiar, but I don't know. And I can see that the Sugarino family, hey, you should know this. And I should, but I don't because I don't take the time to invest on a personal level. we need to change that. I think the Botanic Park would allow us, the garden club may help us.
Yes.
But we have to facilitate, we have to very much participate.
The garden club also helps schools, and we want to do more of that this year as well.
Yes.
So if there's anyone out there who's affiliated with a school or want to volunteer with helping a particular school in the area, it would be great, because we have some funds to help with that and a little time to give them as well with that. So if anyone, reach out to me as well with that. And
Right.
that's something we need help with in curriculum for the schools, is the gardening.
As we ask Mr. John for his closing thoughts, first to you, Miss Laura, invitation, Family Fun Day this Sunday. Anything you want to share about it? And then John, you can recap, repeat, emphasize as you wish, man.
I'll let John go first.
You like John?
Just thank you so much. Any information or people who are interested in not just Botanic Park, but Family Fun Day or medicinal plants or volunteering, info@botanic-park.ky is the email address to get in touch with us. I'd just like to thank the Garden Club, all of our people that have helped out, the Cayman Islands National Attractions Authority, the Ministry of Tourism, everybody. It's best not to try to thank everybody and just thank in a bigger picture, because you're bound to miss out on somebody. But Radio Cayman, always here to support us, and Garden Club, Laura, and everybody there. Thanks. Don't just come out this weekend. Check it out next weekend. Check it out in the summer. Check it out in the winter. Check it out all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. And, resident rates are $10 CI, $5 for children. We are 50% off the regular visit rate. So it's extremely affordable. We don't have regular food available, so we encourage people to bring food on the weekends if you want to come out and stop by and have some food until we get our own establishment.
All right.
Thank you.
And also to remind people when they're going around the Botanic Park not to touch the plants. Don't pull them up and say you're going to take a propagation home, as people tend to do when they're walking around. And another thing is, if after we finish, if I'll leave the notes here for you,
Yes,
you can
please.
announce them again. And please ask people to, whenever they're doing in a land clearing, to contact the Garden Club. We could walk around and see what could be saved, or the Botanic Park, or the National Trust, or other people on the island who are interested in protecting and preserving plants.
Or even just to save, save a few trees on your property, because it's very typical that a land is cleared to see how much land you have, but sometimes you don't see the value of that tree in the back corner that is extremely valuable, and you're not going to get that back.
Yeah, and we need to employ big Minister of Sustainability to help us with that too, because a lot of these roads that are being cleared, or areas that are being cleared for roads, is government, right? So it would be great for them to be a big part of that.
All right. Well, thank you both. Anytime, John, we can facilitate, help you to promote, educate. We're here, man.
Great, thank you.
Thanks again, Ms. Laura. So this Sunday, Family Fun Day at the Botanic Park, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
And thanks to the Garden Club of Grand Cayman.
There you go. I'm going to pause. When you come back, open line, so stay tuned.
Yesterday,
Today,
always and forever.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market. The Garden Play School Group, known for its nurturing, play-based approach to early childhood education at Sprague's Garden Play School in South Sound, announces the opening of its second location, Kitty Wink's Garden Play School in West Bay. Opening for the 2025-2026 school year, Kitty Wink's will offer the group's signature play-based curriculum while introducing a dedicated Spanish immersion program designed for children ages 12 months to 5 years. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines. In news elsewhere, social media giant Meta has offered to pay up to $5,000 to popular creators in the United States who join Facebook and Instagram. It says those joining from third-party social apps will get cash based on an evaluation of your social presence. Though it does not mention TikTok by name, the timing would suggest Meta is attempting to capitalize on the uncertainty surrounding its rival, as questions swirl about whether U.S. President Donald Trump can find a way of preserving it for U.S. users. And the publisher of the Sun newspaper has agreed to pay substantial damages and apologize to the Duke of Sussex to settle a long-running legal battle over claims of unlawful intrusion into his life. Prince Harry alleged journalists and private investigators working for news group newspapers used unlawful techniques to pry on his private life, and executives then allegedly covered it up. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. And again, we are honored. And on a personal capacity, I am truly elated to be able to sit and facilitate, to encourage, to inquire, to hopefully to invite, welcome, but otherwise, acknowledge the importance of us in the country, seeing what we have, showing our appreciation and respect, but participating and contributing to the members of our society on behalf of the Garden Club, and as Miss Laurie Shaw just shared, hey, come out and volunteer. Sunday, will be a good opportunity to enjoy the family fun day at the QU2 Garden Club Park, to maybe see again for the first time for some, for others, growing reminder and appreciation for what is almost 70 acres of just a fantastic space. Someone has, curated and maintained a garden for us, so we just need to go and enjoy. Maybe it'll strike some inspiration for our own yards. It may remind us of the endemic species that we have. And to the Maritime Authority, who were with us earlier, their scholarship deadline is the 31st of this month. Now, it's open line, and you want to share your thoughts with us. Hey, we want to welcome you to be a part of it. 949-8037. 949-6990, or you can WhatsApp call 925-32621. Here is, and I will read it so that there is no doubt. Hold on, what am I typing here? Okay, there we go. One of our listeners had asked a question, and we want to share it with you. I recognize it's just after 2, and you may not necessarily be so inclined, but wanted the populace, to list anything of significance that the government of the day has done, particularly in West Bay, starting at the cemetery, the fire station, and going into the district proper for the last 4 years. A similar question was asked previously by another one that suggests, well, what about not just district by district, but country by country as a whole? Let's take this next call on the WhatsApp. Welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, afternoon, Mr. Sterling.
Hey, how are you today, man? Hope you're having a good day.
Yeah, I having a pretty good day still so far.
All right. Well, pretty good is better than pretty bad.
Yeah, man. For real.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you're having one good one too.
I am, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. But I went yesterday to this thing that was going on in West Bay with the Indigo water sports company, and just to think about it, like, you imagine, I think I talked about this last 2 years ago maybe, about Iron Shores, and locals using our iron shores to explore and enjoy, because not everybody like to kick around in the sand too much.
Mm-hmm.
And, I personally like to go on the iron shore with the tide pools and stuff like that. That's my type of thing, you know. I love the marine life and whatnot. But when I was growing up, I remember camping in Northside particular.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like how they got Rum Point, and you got the other beaches that have restaurants on them and docks and whatnot. And I could just remember just jumping off the docks and stuff, and nobody really looking at us saying, you know, you can't be on this dock or anything like that. But then Cayman used to be friendly. That was like when I were before even I was a teenager. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now we kind of got a bunch of inconsiderate, greedy people on this island, and they tend to look at average people, you know, common people, just enjoying the day as a nuisance. And I wonder if they realize that when they put their businesses and interrupting the nice paradise that we got, and putting fences on there, metal fences at that, and in the middle of the sea,
I wonder
that we would be happy about it.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask through you, right? You directly as well, but just generalists to others who may want to engage in relation to what has just transpired, what is transpiring, but what has been transpiring to date. It's not just today or the last decade or even the last two. Looking at what it is, would you say, generally speaking, there's a growing disrespect in this country from people towards others' property, public lands like parks and the beaches and the sandbar and barkhouse and area, but also private property? Do you think there's a growing disrespect, the way we litter, the way we just trespass? Okay, I understand that's a legal connotation, but we go on without permission. The way we just, disrespect others and others' property, their physical land, their cars, their property. What's your take? I'm saying that look like there is a growing disrespect. What do you think?
Well, like I always advocate like conflict resolution. Not to be aggressive, but
Agree.
in a polite manner, addressing issues in the right way, even if you're intimidated by the folks that are on the beaches.
No.
If that was the case,
Mm-hmm.
there is a right and wrong way to do things. And
Right. But I agree. Apologies. I agree with you that we need to resolve issues in that way, civilly. But what I'm asking is, it would appear that there is more and more disrespect that people are having towards others. People are having towards others' properties, right? The littering and the trespassing. And I'm asking, in your view, now you may not see it, may not agree, but I'm asking if you do.
Well, if it is that the people are disrespecting the property of the owner,
Mm-hmm.
I think that the owner should be a man or a woman and go to the people and say they do not appreciate it,
Right.
that they're doing this. And if they are intimidated of the people that they are addressing, it does not give them any more right to go on social media and
Right.
blast them.
Right. Okay. And the other thing, because I see your mindset and your sort of penchant for this particular perspective. But okay, the other thing I want to ask, and I say this, understanding that it may be inflammatory, but it was inspired by this fantastic lady who said in the presence of many, we got these carpetbaggers, right? And she referenced one or two, and I thought, wow. And only to say that there are many of us here who don't add value, but yet we elevate it and celebrate it, who really, not anything, they're not even good for nothing. So how does a society, in recognizing that this thing is happening, irrespective of who the person is, and especially if the person is perceived to be so and so and such, as this lady had shared, money can't buy class. If any or both of those things that I just observed, growing disrespect, and these people pushing their weight around because, who they think they are, whatever. If that isn't corrected, our society won't be improved. In fact, we'll soon be, this place that really has little or no value and is not safe, civil, stable, economically, nor politically, nor socially.
Yeah. Well, I think that we just need to really work together and try to find the right way to do things, because really and truly, I don't think that anybody should be restricted from beach access, much less even a dock, to say it's safe to put a padlock on a dock when the owner is nowhere to be found, and to provide the only access that is basically on that beach, because the other dock is out of condition. And I don't understand the reason why they're allowed, and I say particularly the same people, the Indigo, are allowed to refurbish their dock with their money, but our government cannot refurbish.
I want to make sure I understand, right, what you just said. So a dock is a private dock, a private dock.
Yeah.
Are you saying that private dock owned by that private individual can't padlock it? It's not a public dock. There's no prescriptive right. There's no easement over it. It's a private dock. Are you saying that can't be restricted to the public? I think we lost our caller there. All right. I want to make final break, but we'll have another call. If you can, please stay on and we'll join you.
It's me again, that old girl, traveling everywhere with Cayman Airways. This time, I go in direct to Tampa because Tampa airfares are on sale. It's been a long time and I seen Cousin Sally up in Tampa or Uncle Joe in Orlando, but I'm not sitting in the Orlando airport traffic. No, sir. If you go in Orlando, Cayman Airways via Tampa, still the best way to go. You can even book a car rental through them, And I know one thing, I'm racking up all the Sir Turtle rewards miles I can get for even more trips this year.
For travel now through April 15th, call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now through January 27th.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Freedom, Cayman Rack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Celebrate Valentine's Day with an unforgettable night of music and inspiration. The 2025 Cayman Arts Festival presents the world-renowned Mark de Lisa Singers and the beloved First Baptist Church Choir coming together for a powerful gospel concert. The award-winning MDL singers have shared the stage with legends like Lionel Richie, Alicia Keys, and Diana Ross. Now they join Pastor Dave George and the First Baptist Church Choir to deliver a night of faith, love, and music. Friday, February 14th at 7 p.m. at First Baptist Church. Tickets are just $40 for adults and $15 for students. Call 922-5550 or email enquiries@CaymanArtsFestival.com for more details. Don't miss this extraordinary event, sponsored by Butterfield Bank.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And to the last caller who may perhaps through internet issues were not able to continue the conversation, we take this next call though. Hey, welcome. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
Excellent. Very thankful. How about you?
Good, sir. Happy New Year to you. I've been a while. Thank you last year with the last one.
All right. Happy New Year to you. We do have some background noise where you're at now, but we will listen closely.
You can hear me better now?
Slightly. The background noise is still very evident.
Wait, yeah. I got right.
Okay. Thanks very much, man. And we don't want to make sure we don't miss anything you say or it gets distracting to others, you know. It's audible. So, Happy New Year, man. How is things so far?
Yeah, I good, man. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for listening, man. Taking time from, your day to share your thoughts with us.
What about?
All right.
Yeah, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I will listen to you before when you talked to the previous caller. Pertaining to the talking in the private. I mean, yes, I understand the individual do have a right to protect their property, and we all do. That's a fundamental right. If it's my company here to protect it in a sense, if it's being vandalized or something. Cayman have gone from a place that you could go, you could use, facilities that the public have access to without having to worry about being damaged or whatever. But you got to remember now, it isn't Caymanians alone that's in this country. And yeah, some of the things that happen constantly in this country, it's some of our own people that cause it to happen. Then it comes right back down to one thing, that at the end of the day, the government have the final say when it comes to this. I remember when I was Cook Freeport, adjourning properties were using the drugstore, and everybody was able to use the parking lot. Or people from CIBC use, Scotia use parking spaces. Parking spaces with adjourning properties and stuff without no problem.
Right.
From the time they decide to actually stop locking people wheels, government supposed to have something, because town is a place. Town have grown exponentially. But parking and employment when it comes to the people that work for particular companies. Some people don't know how to walk too far, and government know that the place were growing, but providing proper parking, that was always been a question. We always used to share parking space with other companies, but everybody start putting parking gate, parking blocking you here and there, putting up security. So it comes right back around to one thing. People are not into the together and the unison type mentality. They're about themselves. And as a business owner, yes, at times you kind of get frustrated, but at the end of the day, people sometimes are have consideration as well. And I think that just like how government dealt with that issue where wheels used to get lost for people parking, I think they need to approach the owners of these establishments and properties to say, look, the barriers that you creating hasn't been bring tranquility. It have brought segregation into this country. And everybody now see it and following suit. Everybody that came behind them start doing the same thing. So therefore, when it comes to going into town and, like during the holidays, the festive season, say Christmas time, Pirate Street, Ballabin and everything, parking is limited in town. Town have never had quality parking. Piccadilly was one of the best approach when it comes to parking in this country, and unfortunately, that's not being utilized the way. And to me, if you building or refurbishing and stuff, government need to strike a chord, say, look, we going after this in a different approach. Anytime you're planning to do expansion, you have to include a multi-store parking, because there's no parking in your facility. Sometimes I wonder how some of these companies are able to get licensed to function with the kind of clientele they have and staff as well. How in God's name are you able to get these licenses? Because I remember when we all were looking about a license for a business, you have to make sure you have a proper address. You need it be if you're using like warehouse or storage or a retail place. You had to have adequate parking space. And yet, whenever it comes to these welfare business owners, they get everything, rolled out for them and pushed in. They get it passed and lack of parking, and nobody wants your customer because you're more successful than me to park in your parking space, because my little one customer that I will get probably around 25 minutes or so. Because they have no parking, they continue moving and go elsewhere. And it's been frustrated when it comes to that. So this thing kind of channel off to the beach as well. When they give these developers the public beach or access to the public beach should have never been to say used for any commercial use. Besides, if it was a fundraiser for an event, I didn't mind that. And the little I would call it tool storage that they use down there as a retail outlet for a tool. That don't look good when you come to a country and see these little boxed up. I mean, I would call it urinals that they're using down. And then the part about it, you got the individuals down there are rushing the tourists, going to the bus and no, that other country came on supposed to be a different thing. We learned from all the Caribbean islands, even to America. We learned from things where we should do and not do. And we're falling to that. The government needs to roll back that thing, build proper thing. Take the other investor that had came up with that idea about it. Listen to me, man. That's supposed to be the crown property. And when you got a private investor have that sort of privilege and power, you're creating us against them. In the society. It have been like almost like a virus. It have been happening everywhere. So this Indigo incident, this is not the first. And I could promise you it won't be the last. The pass out there by Barbara Soda and them, they do the same thing. Back in the day, you had the dog fever where you jump off, you swim. And everybody have seen one person did it in government. Remember now, that isn't their property. That dog maybe they built it. But in the sea, nobody owns that property. Just remember that. It's another high water mark. In the sea, not a high water mark. It's on land. You understand? And I think government needs to go back to the drawing board and be unapologetic to any individual with whatever idea they come up with that benefits the public. Sure, if someone is damaging their property, arrest them. They charge them big so the next person that do it, they refrain from ever going down. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So,
well, I appreciate you sharing that, because as you see, maybe we're now have created problems for ourselves because of what we did and didn't do. Maybe we were unwilling to acknowledge the problems that we would be creating when we did what we did. But thanks for putting it on the table, all right?
All right, man. You take care.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Talk to you soon.
You too. All the best.
All the best.
Yeah.
And as the caller shared, the idea that things are transpiring, and are we cognizant of what it is? Are we going to be oblivious to the obvious? Are we prepared to continue to stick our heads in the sand and pray that it goes over? Mr. Roy Borden will remind us, when it comes to our health, don't ignore that niggling feeling. Well, maybe we have ignored too much for too long. I don't believe that the problems are unsolvable. I don't believe they're that large, that big, that bad that we can't address them. But I'm honestly of the view that if we continue to ignore what is before us, it won't get any better. If we continue to deny ourselves that we are now at a space when we need effective leadership, economically, politically, socially, religiously, every which way. Leadership that is decisive and as much as possible exhaustive, willing to turn over every stone, look for the very best. Leadership that includes, involves, invites, somehow ensures that we all have a part, but not to achieve something because it's political expedient, not to do something because it gives us some acknowledgement or reward. The scripture talks about, don't store up a treasure where it'll rot, So that thing that we do now has to benefit not just today and tomorrow. Some would say the next generation, I would say for generations to come. We can't undo much of the things that have been done. Let's make sure that whatever we do, it isn't something that's going to bring greater detriment. Our prayer should be that whatever happens doesn't hinder, hurt, nor harm We want to help. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of it. And to the last caller, I want to share with you one of our listeners who says, I appreciate the points that you were made. To all who shared, again, for the opportunity to sit in and host For the Record earlier. Thanks for that. Tomorrow, join us. We got DOE coming in for a bit. We're going to speak to our friends on Meals on Wheels for a bit. The Chief Nursing Officer will join us to close out the sort of penultimate last half an hour of our nursing survey. Then open line to wrap it up for the end of the day. Until tomorrow, my friends, have an awesome, magnificent day. Join the buzz in the morning, folks. Got the buzz on? Yeah, the buzz. Be a part of that discussion. Come back for talk today. Be safe, be well, be considerate, be kind, be blessed.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949